Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to send customizable emails using Python and HTML. So on your screen is the example of the customized email that we are going to send in our video. You can customize your email as per your wish. You can make emails better than this. So we are going to see how to do that in your today's video. So let's get started. So before we start writing a code in a text editor, I want you to go to your Gmail account and click on your icon and go to manage your Google account. Then at this you will go at the security section and firstly you will enable the two-step verification. After you are done the two-step verification, you will go to the app passwords and there you may need to sign in to go to app passwords. So after you sign in you will reach at this place. So here we will select the app and take other. At here we can type any name, so I will type Python and click here generate, and this will generate a 16-digit key that we are going to use to log in to our Gmail account while sending emails through Python. So make sure you copy it and paste it in a file. So now let's start writing the code of our email sender. To send emails using Python, we are going to need some modules. So these are the modules that we are going to need in our today's video for sending emails using Python. We will see why we will need these modules as we proceed in making our email sender. So now let's define a function that will going to send email. So let's say def send email, and this function is going to receive two files as argument, that is the sender's file and the receiver's file. So I want you to create two files that will contain this email receiver's name and the email address, and a file that will contain the email sender and the password that we have generated and the subject of the email. As you can see, I have made both of this file. Make sure you also make it. So now let's give it argument as email sender's file and email receiver's file. Now we are going to open the email sender's file. To open this, we are going to say with open email sender's file that we are going to provide as argument while calling a function, and we are going to open this in read mode, so we will say r as file. And now we will make a reader1 variable and say dict reader and file and give it a file. So the dict reader that we are imported using from the CSV module is going to read the file CSV file and take out the information. So now we will convert this CSV file that we have imported into a list. So let's store the list in users variable is equal to list and give it reader1. with some of the spelling mistakes. So now we are going to loop over this list so as to get the email sender, address and password of the user and the email subject. So to do that, we will say for user in users email sender will be email sender is equal to user.get get email sender and same for the email account password and the subject. So now we have the email sender, email account password and the subject. Now we will need to do same for the email receivers file so as to get the name of the receiver, the email address of that receiver. So let's do the same for the email receivers file. So with open email receivers file, file in read mode as file 1. We'll say reader 1 is equal to reader 2 is equal to dict reader that reads the file and get a file here will be file 1. Users 1 is equal to list of reader 2. Now let's loop over this users 1 list for user 1 and user 1's users 1 and name is equal to item.get name. Sorry, there will not be item, there will be user 1. And receiver's email address will be email is equal to user 1.get email receiver. Now we have the email sender's address, the email account password of the sender, the subject of the email, the name of the receiver's email, but we need to give this all the variables to our class, that is email message, that we have imported from the email.message module. This email message class provides us the core functionality for setting the sender, receiver, subject and the content of the email. So let's see how to do that. First we'll create a object name email and use the email message class as I said, and to set the sender of the email we will say email and to from is equal to email sender, and email to is equal to receiver's email, and for the subject email square bracket subject only is equal to subject, and to set the content of the email we will say email dot set content. Now to set the content we are going to use a HTML file. As I told you, we are going to make a customized email, so we'll first make a variable named HTML, and using the path that we imported from the pathlib module we will say path, and I actually have a sample HTML that I showed you at the starting of the video. We are going to use it, so we will say in the path to read sample.html, and as we are going to read the text inside it we will say read text. Okay, now we will give the HTML file as the argument, but in our sample.html we have something where we greet the user using hey and the user's name, but in our receivers file we will have many users. So for the receiver's name we're going to write here $name, and we'll go to the file, and here rather than saying HTML we will say HTML dot substitute name, and give it a dictionary name as name colon name that we have set using means we have received from the receiver's CSV. So in here after this we will say, as it is in the HTML format we will write here HTML, but it's here it is showing the red underline. So this is because we are just reading the text, we are not telling this that this is a template. So using the template module that we have imported from the string module we will set wrap it into template. So now it's the red and the line is gone. So now there is a problem. This will going to send an email for only one time, means if there are multiple users then also it is going to send a one time, because this is because of the indentation. We should actually put this into a for loop, because as many receivers we are going to have, that much time it will going to loop, and then our name will going to get updated, the receiver's email will get updated that time. So make sure you put it in the for loop. So now we have the email ready. Now to send this email we will need a simple mail transfer protocol, that is SMTP server. So we have imported the SMTP lib module for that, and from SSL we have imported the create default context. SSL stands for secure socket layer. So we will see now what is the use of this. Firstly we will say here, out of the for loop, inside the for loop with SMTP lib dot SMTP underscore SSL, and this class takes 3 arguments, that is the host, the port number of that host, and the context. So in my case the host will be Gmail, so I will write here smtp.gmail.com, and the port number will be 465. You can also use here different mail sending service. If you have Rediffmail, you will type here .rediffmail and the port number of that. So in my case, as it will be the Gmail, I have the smtp.gmail.com as the host name. So now we will need a context here. Context is equal to context. This context we are going to make a variable here up. Context is equal to create default context method that we have imported from the SSL module. So this context is nothing but it actually secures the connection between the servers. You don't need to worry about it. So let's now here say SMTP. So now let's, in here we will say smtp.hello. We are calling this method because this method ensures safe connection between the server and us. This is something that protects us from threats. As we are working on the internet, we need to be safe. So now let's log into account by saying smtp.login and give it the sender's email, and the password. Let's send the message by saying smtp.sendMessage and give it the email object that has the email sender, email receiver, subject and content. Now our send email function is ready. It's time to call this. Let's call this by saying send email and give it the sender's CSV and the email receiver's CSV. So I will say email underscore senders dot CSV and email receiver CSV. So now let's run our program and see whether it is able to send email. So I got a error here. It's saying that expected string or bytes like objects, and at what line we are getting it? We are getting it over this content method. So let's see over here. Is right, yeah, here we forgot to call the method. As this error has occurred, let's do one more thing. Let's wrap all this code in a try block so as to avoid big errors like as we got Now we'll say chai, and as I accept, I will say accept exception, accept exception as L. Then we'll print let's say something went wrong. And we'll display the error message. Let's ensure the indentation properly. So now let's run this program again. So we are getting one more error, that is get address info failed. This is because I forgot to switch on my internet connection. Let me switch on my internet connection. So now back again with active internet connection. Let's run our program. So our program got executed without any errors. Let's go to your email. So we have the email, let's check it. So perfect, we have customized email sent using HTML and Python. Now before ending this video, I want to tell you that in our HTML file, if you want to display a image like as I done here, you need to provide a link of your image that is in the website. If you try to take the image from your computer, it will not be able to find it, so make sure you give it a link. So that's all for this video. I hope you got something interesting to learn. If you have any doubts, ask me in the comment section, or you can join our Discord server. Share this video with your family members and friends. Thanks for watching, and